Alright, I'm here, and I'm here to stream. I'm here to stream in Mirror Dungeon Farm. Just quickly checking if my controller might have actually worked with Limbus Company, but no. Would have been useful, because then I would only have to press one button instead of clicking one button, but it's easier to hold my controller in the position I usually sit when I'm streaming. There we go. It's gonna. There we go. There we go. It's always important to find a comfortable position to sit in while streaming, otherwise it's gonna be a bitch to do. Alright, let's give it a go. I am gonna do the mirror dungeon again. I actually finished my first hard mode mirror dungeon not too long ago. Didn't even realize that hard mode was literally just sliding a button so that hard mode activates. Was pretty fun actually. I had to focus on using my characters a bit better, and I paid attention to the ego gifts, and for the first time in a while mirror dungeon was actually pretty fun. Not sure if the fun will actually keep going the more I repeat it, but for now. See, I have my charge scene prepared, but do I want to use something else? For that one boss fight in Kanto 8, I'm waiting to see what the Warp Train rerun will bring with IDs. If it's just a Blood Fiend ID, then it's not really gonna change much for my Warp team, but if it's an actual charge ID, I might want to look into it to see if it's good enough to join my team. And I was also thinking of maybe making a hybrid charge rupture team, because a lot of my charge identities do have rupture, and I looked it up and actually have a decent amount of rupture egos as well. And I noticed that a lot of the... I don't remember what they're called. I think the Heisho pack, something like that. The newer rupture IDs are actually strong against Slash, so might be something to think about. And I also remember that a bit ago someone did tell me that rupture IDs are actually pretty strong, so I may want to try it. I don't think there's anything specific that I want to try, so we'll just go with rupture for now. I might need to see if I can get those pack IDs, but I'm not really sure how expensive that's gonna be. I definitely want the Faust ID because she is actually fairly good, and I do think that Warp Faust, while having bind, is one of the weaker ones I have. I might change up Ryushi as well because she doesn't have any rupture. If we're keeping the identities with rupture, then that would be W Yi Sang, W Dawn, W Otis, W Mursalt, and W Honglu. And then maybe to finish off the team I could get a W Faust, W Ryushi, and a W, not a W, Heisho pack, or whatever it's called. Heisho pack Faust, Heisho pack Ryushi, and Heisho pack Gregor, but that would cost me about, give or take, 1500 fragments, which would mean I need at least 750 boxes, and then I also need to get lucky. But on average I would need to get 750 boxes. And I only have about, I think, either 500 or 600, and that's after I finish the pass. So, if it's 600, I could see myself getting to the point where I could get 750. But I would need to do something akin to 50 mirror dungeons to get those 150 extra boxes. And over the course of a while, that's not the worst thing. But anything more than that would honestly just be unrealistic. Now, I'll probably be able to get at least $50 is from the Warp Train rerun. So that would lower it only to... Oh, I miscalculated. I assumed that I would get 3 fragments each time I finished the mirror dungeon with that 150 one, so it would just lower my mirror dungeon runs to 50 still. Alright, we only have 65, so that's not that much, so we'll take you, because I do really like the Starlight guidance, whatever it says. See, out of these 20s, I usually just pick the Star Shower because I like getting that 400 extra cost. The team pack selection is also pretty tempting though. Fuck it, I'll take this one for now. Alrighty then. My main team is still Rupture, but I might try to get some my main team is still Charge, but I'll try to also get some Rupture gifts, because surprisingly a good amount of my guys do have Rupture. Employee card, portable battery socket. I don't actually know which one of these would be better. I think I need the portable battery socket for a fusion gift, so we'll just take that one. I might want to actually get... I might actually want to get... get the wiki here so that I know what I have to fuse. Sometimes a word is just stuck in my brain and I can't for the life of me get it out of my mouth. I think it's because my first language isn't English, so my brain needs to translate, and while I don't actively think about translating anymore, it's still happening in my brain. Alright, let's see what we got here. Ooh, okay, so I know definitely that we need both this, I don't know, what were you called again? UPS system. We do need this UPS system, but we also need Wrist Guard for the fusion, but I think the UPS system is slightly rarer, so we'll go with that. That's lucky though. That is lucky. Wait, am I still in hard mode? Am I still in hard mode? I don't want to be in hard mode. I hope not. Whatever, I'll just turn it off on the next one. Because we can see, yeah, okay, we're in hard mode. Can I turn it off? Hold up. No, that's not. Remember. Oh no, okay, shit. I guess I could just forfeit real quick and then turn off the hard mode. It's also pretty bad. I just keep forgetting to turn that shit off. I'd like the first floor would actually be that difficult, but would be a bit of a waste, I think. Would make things last just a little bit longer. Alright. How do I turn off hard mode? Fuck, I don't know, man. Okay, seriously, how the fuck do I turn off hard mode? Can I not do that while in the mirror dungeon or something? Can turn on the infinite mirror one. Fuck it, whatever. We'll just do the first floor just like this and then we'll fucking see. Just slightly annoying to me. It's probably something stupid that I just forgot to do. Oh. No. Fuck. Where is the hard mode switch? Where's the hard mode switch, dang it. Or can you only do that after the first round? I remember something that you can only do something like that after the first floor. Oh wait, I can do it here. Never mind. Alright. So, ideally, I would have gotten the UPS one again, because that one is a bit rare to get then. This I don't remember what all these fuckers are called. The curriculum vita, or the gauntlet. For now I'll just go with the gauntlet. Not the gauntlet, the vita. Should see if I can get the warp train as well. That would be pretty neat. Let's see. I wonder if I have 5 rupture IDs in my charge IDs. Let's see. I think you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture. So that's 5 IDs. So what they could do is have the 5. Well, you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture. So that's 4. Okay, so if I, for example, switch out one of these IDs with, let's say, Mersault or maybe Honglu, then I should have rupture, right? And I should have 5 rupture IDs. Yeah, okay. Just gotta quickly check that though. Do you inflict rupture, sir? Inflict rupture, yes. You inflict rupture, right? Huh. Why did I think you specifically inflicted rupture? Huh. I do really like this art. It looks really cool. I especially like the spear or lance weapon that Faust uses. Feels a little bit different from all the other W Corps. Alright, so... Okay, so you have rupture, you have rupture, you have rupture. Okay, so that's 3. So I have 3 of them that inflict rupture. I wonder if it's worth it to maybe bring some of my not as good IDs like W Honglu and W Mersault, so that I could get 5 ruptures in total. And then I could double dip on both the rupture gifts and the charge gifts in the dungeon. I guess I don't really need to make that choice right now, and I can always just switch them out. And I don't even know if these gifts only work when a person is on field. But I'll just prioritize getting both charge and rupture for now. I've also realized that R-Corp identities actually work decently well with lobotomy identities, which makes sense because R-Corp worked really closely with L-Corp because they needed the energy from L-Corp and everything. Would be kinda nice if, let's say, R-Corp identities keep working decently well with Lobotomy Corporation identities. The only one that I've seen that isn't that great would be Heathcliff and Mersault, but Ishmael and Honglu actually work decently well with Rhodia, for example, because they're all 3 charge sinking identities and have decent passives that help each other. I actually haven't really looked at Ishmael for a while. I don't know if she is all that good. But it would be nice if R-Corp got its own niche a little bit. I know that for R-Corp it's usually based off of speed, right? Like Rhino Mersault uses speed and then bleed. And then R-Corp Heathcliff, I think also gains more power if he has speed. And then so on. God, I haven't used R-Corp Heathcliff in forever. I used to use him all the time in these dungeon runs. He's still really good, it's just that Arms Office Heathcliff is just better with his passive right now. I do really like Arcorp though. I really hope that we get something that I can build a team out of him. Doesn't really matter if Rhodia loses SP, so we'll pick her. Upgrade the first encounter reward card to the highest tier if tier it could spawn as. Okay, that's neat. Maybe. I don't actually know what a reward whatever is. There we go.
잠깐만. 아직 충전 덜 했거든. 단순해서 좋군. 9번 수감자. 물론.
Right, do I even have to charge for your purple skill down? I don't think I do. I think it would have been a nice feature if in human battles you can designate specific skills that they should never pick those regardless of if you pick win rate. Especially because, let's say, Dawn was in the front, right? And the win rate would have picked her purple skill, that I would have had to manually drag the chain for everybody, which is a little bit of a pain. Yeah, this is fine. God, the emanations are freaking great. Just the swords are cool, how they're spinning around her, but also the effect of... The best way I can describe it is stars, but not normal stars, but constellation stars. Or constellation stars. You know how they are lights and and a line comes from there to and fro the stars. I don't know if that's actually a proper word for it, but whatever. Ryushi, do you have enough charge? You should have enough charge, right? Yes, you have enough charge. Well, actually, yes, you have enough charge. I keep forgetting if Ryushi's purple skill is at +10 or at +7. I need to yawn so much today, man. I don't know why, but I'm in a really lethargic mood. One of those days where you just don't feel like doing anything, but also you're just bored, so you want to find something to do. Oh, I remember this one. Take that. What's this? Oh, that's actually also pretty good. Could I sell one of my gifts that I don't really want? Don't really have many that I don't really want. Shit. Don't really need this one, do I? And I might be able to get it later. Feel kind of bad though. It's a gift that I do kind of like, so. Alright. We didn't get much power boost here, but we're good. We're golden. We're great. We're specifically, terrifically great. Oh, I love how this girl dances. It's cute. And it makes me wish that Mariachi was a little bit better. I do think that Mariachi Sinclair is one of his best designed egos. The blue flames are just really cool, and the mask. That's why I usually keep him in his initial art instead of his final art, because I just think the mask and the blue flames are really cool.
그다지 위협적이진 않을 것
그간의
같군요.
전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않아. 그래.
Damn, if I'm not careful, I might fall asleep. No, this isn't a comment on the game, by the way. Just because I'm, I already explained how I feel a little bit lethargic. If that's actually the word for it, I'm assuming it is. Just being a bit
신속히 처리하죠.
tired and everything. Would be a little bit embarrassing. Apparently I speak in my sleep, so y'all might hear something weird if I actually do.
전투 감각 하나만큼은
Yay, we did it.
또 훌륭하긴 하군. 이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 4번 수감자.
Okay, a rupture gift, that's not bad. Whenever an ally deals 12 plus HP damage to an enemy with a skill, inflict 2 rupture potency on target. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, then we'll go with the curriculum vitae. I keep thinking it's something else, like, I don't even know, man. Alright, let's see. Okay, we could use the glove here. I think we're gonna go with the glove because that's also something we need. What packs do we have here? Okay, yeah, so I was wondering if you get slightly better gifts from hard mode, then it seems to actually be the case. Well, not that it matters right now. As much as I had more of a fun time in hard mode than I had in normal mode, it isn't like you're getting more pass points for completing hard mode. At least not after you've done the first run a week in hard mode or the first 3 runs a week in normal mode.
알고 침식도 양호. 아마도
I forgot how I really like this OST. Oh shit, someone... Oh, it's just a cheap viewers thing. Never mind. I thought someone had messaged and I had ignored it, which I always feel bad about. I even did it last stream and I still feel bad about it. Don't want to be an asshole, but I also have to realize that sometimes I'm just gonna not spot a message immediately. Especially when I'm focused on the game or something else.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요.
Yeah, that was surprisingly easy.
것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 날카롭고 저는 언제나 정확하게 옳은 말만 한답니다.
설마 벌써 죽었냐?
제압 완료. 승객 보건 준비.
I remember when the trailer for this interfollow dropped, people were going crazy because they made it look a little bit like a normal gacha summer event. The people were actually speculating on what kind of swimsuits we got. And then everything went fucked and we had to deal with people not liking the fact that there were no swimsuits. I honestly don't think that would have ever happened anyway. I don't think Limbus Company is that kind of game.
단순해서 좋군. 9번 수감자.
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine.
물론
내가
좋은
눈에
성과를
새겨주지.
갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지. 그래, 그렇게 시원하게 보는 맛이 나는 일처리
Ugh, fucking hell.
덜 답답한 법이지.
직원들이 긍정적인 환경에 놓여 있게 되었어요. 관리자님이 이 기회를 잘 활용하길 기다리겠습니다.
I'm not really sure if we're gonna come out of this undamaged, but it really doesn't matter. Also, I feel like this should be abno battles, because aren't these guys closer to abnormalities than they are humans? Maybe they're just animals, so that also counts as human battles.
다음은 어디요?
Don't really have much use for a burn ego gift, but we can always sell it or maybe fuse it. Depends on how I feel. It always surprises me when that this seafloor one doesn't really have any special egos tied down to it. Enemy staggered by taking skill damage also receive fixed damage by 33% of their max HP. For abnormalities, the part HP and are inflicted with 2 fragile next turn. Alright, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Personally, don't really care about the poise egos, but it's just more fodder to buy or fuse. Also, I can get more sin affinities, which is always useful. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to get all the fusion gifts this mirror dungeon, because from what I'm seeing, it's harder to get the higher rank stuff. Lots of neutrals over here, which I do not like, but... Okay, their speeds are trees all throughout, so we can't really dodge anything. Just gonna quickly check something though. Okay, let's see. Okay, they're just attacking all the faster units, so it doesn't really matter. This is the best we can do. Alright, and we'll just leave it at this. A lot of the time with these win rates, they don't really check first if a unit could clash because the target is attacking it. I think that the best way to program win rate would be to have them start from the slowest to the fastest instead of what I'm assuming they go from the fastest to the slowest, where they'll first check what the best option is for the fastest, and then the fastest unit, and then go from there. I think it would be better if you check from the slowest, because then they can spot, oh wait, the slowest can actually clash with this one, so that's actually really good for us. Okay, well at least we're faster than them, that's good. We'll just dodge with Dawn, because I usually do that with these counters. I still have no fucking clue how they work though. Don't fucking ask me. I know there are clashable counters now as well. I don't... Do you have... How much charge do you have? It's only 6. It can sometimes be so difficult to see through this entire menu. Only in neutral, I do not like that. Ooh, I do not like a hopeless even more. Only a hopeless. He's saying, be my savior. Okay, you're just neutral. That's fine though. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, we're just gonna do this. And hope that the neutral will actually fall in my favor. Which is solely luck based, because a lot of the time even favored will lose. Oh, did we actually paralyze this bastard? Or maybe we'll kill him before he can actually get any attacks off. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, let's see what we got. We don't have to... Oh. Okay, the question is, do I buy the wrist guard right now and see if there's anything else that I want to get from the gifts I get, or should I just ignore it and go for that? I don't know. Fuck it, I'm just gonna take it. Sure, we might be able to get something else. I'm don't really think there's a need for anything else. We don't really have much to fuse either, I think, do we? Maybe. I don't want to get rid of the rupture ego, but the poise ones can go and the burn one can go as well. Okay, a 90% chance to get a rank 3 charge, that's definitely worth it. What would happen now? That would just be a 9% charge as well. I had hoped that maybe I would be able to get a rank 4 ego. That would have been pretty cool. Oh yeah, I would be able to get that with this. Tempting, 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 tempting. Should I do that? That is tempting. That is absolutely tempting. But I'm also fairly sure I need a lot of charge egos that are not rank 4 to actually get these really good charge egos. So hold up. Limbus, company, gifts. There we go. Just gonna have a list in front of me, unless you're gonna be an asshole about it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I surprisingly do not need you actually. For fusion at least. Yeah, most of these are tier 3 that I need, with some being tier 2. So, as much as it would be nice to get a good tier 4 charge gift, I think there's only one of them. Which is still a good gift, but... just gonna do this. Okay, well this was one of the ones I needed. Now we only need an insulator, which funnily enough we do need to get by fusing, so... might still take a while. Because that also means we can enchant at least this gift, because it is actually not used for any fusions. I don't think we're gonna get anything decent, but nope. Alright.
잠깐만. 아직 충전 덜 했거든.
From what I can tell, there aren't an insane amount of charge gift outside of the 3 charge fusions that are just there. You do have with Warp Train that some of them are pretty good, the gifts that you get for charge, but outside of that, not ideal.
그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요.
Nice.
설마 벌써 죽었냐? 그래. 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군.
Oh shit, I totally didn't pay attention to the purple skill. Well, still doing a crap ton of damage, so not the worst out there. Ah, I forgot you kill your own allies for healing? Is that it? Might be. Kinda reminds me of this Monster Hunter monster. It's the Direct Queen, I think. I'm not actually sure if that's what it's called. I'm just gonna do damage. I'm 90% sure that we should be killing it. Yeah, no, this thing alone will kill it, okay. Yeah, reminds me a bit of the Taratect. No, I don't know. It's a spider monster that throws the males of its species as, I don't know, as ammunition at the player. It's pretty great. Hey Hermit, how you doing? I'm waving at you as well, even though I'm not really sure what that is. A mixture of Peter Griffin and Kirby, which is a little terrifying, I imagine. But yeah, it's they use the males of the species as ammunition to throw against the player, which I've always thought was pretty fun. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play the latest Monster Hunter because I haven't really heard many amazing things about it. And I don't just mean the bad things, I just mean that from what I've heard, well, from the lack of what I've heard, there isn't really much of a reason for me to grab it. A wave emote one got for free. Let's see. I don't really need any of these things. So let's go with this pack because we can at least get the tier 3 gift. It is a darn shame though. I really like Monster Hunter. And I haven't really been able to play much of it ever since I finished Rise. That was a mouthful. I really like Rise as well. Ooh, I don't like this frog guy, but I do want all the egos. I personally think the frog isn't that fun to fight, mainly because they really lower your sanity. And it isn't fun to see your coins just miss all the time. It just doesn't feel good to me. Which is how I judge a lot, and I mean a lot of my gameplay, if it feels good to the player. That's something that a lot of game designers don't actually pay much attention to, if it actually feels good to the player. That's why I always like to praise animations that just hit right when it comes to Limbus Company. Which Limbus Company is really good at. Look at the newest Hong Lu ID that we just got the trailer for, right? Those animations were absolutely beautiful and they hit really nice. Well, I'm running one negative coin, that's Rhodia. Could have also had Dawn here, but I like her ID, but it's not like it's crazy good. I do think that a lot of the older IDs could use an animation update because of that though. If you look at some of the older IDs, even compared to the not super important IDs, you know, not the main season IDs or the main event IDs, they still really come off short. Now some IDs actually have really nice animations for how good they feel, like Heathcliff, for example. Rabbit Heathcliff, his third skill actually has some decently nice feeling animations, but it just doesn't really come close. And we got a bunch of ego gifts, so that's nice. Okay, we'll go here. And if we win a battle and get 2 Tremor gifts. I'm just fighting all these battles for them gifts. Can we get rid of that neutral? I do not think so. Can not. Wait, no, that's a 3. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with that neutral, unfortunately. I could dodge. Yeah, screw it, I'll dodge. By the way, I've decided to focus on a... well, Decisive is a strong word. I'm thinking about maybe focusing on a Rupture Charge hybrid team so that I can use the newest pack identities. At least one or two of them.
직원들이
Because what
긍정적인
I've
경험을
seen, I actually have a decent amount of Rupture egos.
기회를 잘 활용하고
And also some of my identities,
기다리는
the
능력을
charge identities that I've already uptied up, are actually decent in a Rupture team. Like Rupture, not Rupture, W Yi Sang is actually not bad.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지
I'm probably gonna head back to Tremor. Time
개체를 구성하고 있는
Moratorium
기계를
antics still
하게
funny.
되었습니다.
It is actually really fun to use, I'll admit that. And I do have a lot of Tremor identities. The problem is I just don't have too many good Tremor IDs. The only Tremor ID that I have is the one, the Faust one. And while I do know that that one is pretty darn good, I would like to have more than one good Tremor ID.
정리를 시작하겠어.
I like Tremor though, it's a fun one. I imagine you got that Otis identity, correct?
물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고
Also, I've heard that Rupture overall is just a strong status effect when you just want to get through a fight, right? Where you don't really care much about the mechanics and everything. You can just do damage and kill an enemy. Yeah, well, shame for Molar works
적에게 치명상을
Otis then, because she's definitely gonna be replaced in every Tremor team ever.
대단한 능력을 가지고 있다. 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
I do have all the T-Corp except for the new Otis though, so I could make a decent Tremor team overall. It's just that I do not have the fucking time to farm that many resources to get them all up to snuff. I would need to uptie them all. I would need to uptie them all. I would need to level them up. You know how long that would take? Forever. I'm a lazy man by trade. I'm just not feeling like... I just do not feel like doing that. Alright, we'll battle you. There's a lot of battles here for more egos, but... Ego gifts, but I'll take it.
목적지까지 가기 위하여
I was thinking of getting... Heishupek Faust... Heishupek Gregor, because I really do want a stronger Gregor ID. The strongest Gregor ID I have right now currently is G-Corp, so, you know, not the greatest. And then... Let's see... Maybe... Heishupek Ryushi, because W Ryushi doesn't really do anything with Tremor. I'm also still running the Eurodefis because Ryushu can gain an extra S attack if you... Yeah, no, the Eurodefis are actually pretty good. Honglu Eurydice is actually one of my favorites because his animations are really fun. Sometimes you have no fucking clue what he's doing, but his finisher on skill 3 is pretty satisfying.
빠르게 하는 편이
Ooh. I don't know if I had enough charge for that one. I really should start paying more attention to the skills I'm using. Yes, give me all these ruptures and a charge is really nice. Alright, let's see what we got. And again, not really much for us here. I'm just gonna refresh once. Oh, yes, UPS system, we do need that one. Absolutely great. Might want to get the Sippo lighter, but it's not currently super necessary. So let's first see if we can fuse some gifts to get some better charge gifts here. Do we actually have anything that we wishes to fuse? Well, we have this tier. Ooh, if we have enough tier 3s, we might actually be able to get a tier 4 charge gift. That would be pretty sweet. Ooh, do I not have enough tier? I don't think I have enough tier 3 gifts. That's unfortunate. Well, let's first just put these two together. Oh. No charge? Okay, now. I guess I can do the same. Can do 3 of the same gifts. There we go, that's slightly better. Guess this doesn't really matter. I don't think this was one I needed. I need some tier 3 ego gifts. I'm also... Oh wait, I already read that. What else do we have? Oof, no, that's definitely not worth it. It seems like a bit of a waste. I would rather just get a... Yeah, I really would rather just get a tier 4 charge gift, but I also just really need those tier 3s. Maybe I should just wait. Can I maybe buy one here? Don't think so. Is it really worth it though? You know what? I'm not gonna be too crazy about this. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Sippolider is probably something I would want. Just gonna refresh once more just to see if we get anything better. Actually. Inflict, that's not bad. Alright. Guess we'll leave it for now and then hopefully we'll get some better gift later. Is it me, or when you do mirror dungeons on hard mode, gifts are easier to get? Or at least you get better gifts.
단순해서 좋건 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 건 준비해주지.
지키기 위해서.
Maybe it's because you get one more pick on ego gifts on hard mode. And also because the packs are just a little bit stronger.
내가 먼저다.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라. 효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는
It's kind of funny how everybody gets to attack Cromer even when she reaches 1 HP. With new bosses, they just immediately cut you off and are like, okay, next transformation. Ooh, that was a waste. That was a really big waste of a skill.
적합한 조치였습니다.
Oh shit, why did it get staggered? How the fuck did Dawn get staggered? Am I missing something? I might be. I really need to pay more attention sometimes. She did 0 damage. Maybe it's an ability of her. Oh, yeah. I haven't fought Cromer in forever, man.
지키기 위해서.
I wonder how this would be in lore for Sinclair, just having to fight Cromer, who he killed. Well, he actually didn't kill. Damien saved our ass. Like, how would that be for Sinclair? That he's just in the mirror dungeon and suddenly, oh hey, there's Cromer, just hanging out. Still, people are still wanting her to be their waifu, even though she's absolutely fucking insane.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Cool that you get to hear the melee song though. That's nice.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
제압 완료. 승객 보관 준비.
Ooh, give me tier 4. Oh no, I can only get the tier 2 or 3. Still, please give me one. I need more of them. Ah, I didn't get one. Shame. Darn shame. Darn shame, darn it. Yeah, not the great. Ooh, what's this? Turn start activate when there are 3 or more blade lineage. Never fucking mind. Never fucking mind. Guess we'll just go for this one. Alright, got a prototype lineup for Tremor. Vanguard, all 3 T-Corps. Yeah, that makes sense. The 2 Eurodiffies. Yeah, that's about as good. Regret Faust and Molar Boats-ish. Yeah. Benchwarmer, Molar Office G Sang. Molar Office G Sang. Oh yeah, that that one exists. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oofy Cliff, yeah, that makes sense. Molar Boats Sinclair. I feel like Swy Sinclair would be better overall if you're gonna go for passives, but Molar Boats does. His passive is more tremor focused instead of just being generically good, if I remember. So maybe you're right on that one. And then Rose Banner Mersault and G Corp Gregor. I don't remember what Rose Banner Mersault's passive is. Is it actually any decent? I do think I have Rose Banner Mersault, so after this I might check that out. But yeah, your team seems solid overall. The only real thing that I could say is maybe switch out Molar Boat Sinclair for Swy Sinclair, and that's about it. Spanner Salt's passive is X3 Resonance Gloom. One ally with fastest speed lowers the clashing power of opponent with Tremor by 1. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Swy Sinclair's passive is generically better, but yeah, for a Tremor team that would actually work. And yeah, now overall all of these other ones are pretty darn solid. I use Molar Works Ishmael all the time. She's just straight up really good, even in a Sync or Tremor team. Yeah, the clash power decrease is actually really solid. Is that for all the skills, or is it just for one skill that the clash power is decreased? Molar Boats is at +4 Gloom owned. One ally with the most max HP inflicts +1 Tremor with the effect of their attack skill coin. I think it's for all clashes for the affected ID. That's actually pretty good. What are you using these teams for anyway? For someone that to me seems to be playing a lot more Limbus Company than I, what do you do usually between Cantos and Interfollows? I usually have I have kind of a ebb and flow in how much I play Limbus Company, where when I'm playing a Interfollow or a Kanto, I'll play a lot more, and then slowly I'll fall off because there isn't much to do besides the mirror dungeon. Just funny stuff. There is just farming for IDs and everything, but that can be all that fun, right? Maybe I'm just a weirdo, but to me it doesn't seem all that fun just to farm for shards. Maybe if you have the seasons pass and it goes a lot quicker, it's a lot more fun. But even with the seasons pass, you only get, what, 9-ish boxes? No, you get 3 boxes per, no, 9 boxes per mirror dungeon. But still need to farm the mirror dungeon. Ah, stretch. Stretch. Hold up. Ah. You would need still need to stretch farm the mirror dungeon a good 50, 60 times. I chose Motorboat Sinclair because his support passive mentions coins at +1 tremor per coin can be a lot. And I ended last season with a fucking hell pass level 1400, so I'm getting my money's worth. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I couldn't do that, man. I just genuinely could not. Right now I'm kinda in between games, so I feel a lot more. I'm gonna be a little bit more active with Limbus Company. But as soon as I find a game that I really want to play again, I'll probably not drop Limbus Company in its entirety, but be a lot less active. It will probably get to the point where I may do the mirror dungeon once a week, and that's it. Yeah, that makes sense.
정리 시간이다.
Yeah, right now, for example, because I'm in between games and I'm really only playing Limbus Company and Pokemon Conquest, which is a really old Pokemon spin-off from like 2012. So at that point, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I'll just play some Limbus Company, I'll just do a mirror dungeon run because I have nothing better to do. It's actually funny because I do have a couple of games that I'm still streaming, like AI the Somnium File. I still need to finish the second game from that series. And then I have a couple of games that I have in the background that I have prepared so that I can stream them at any times, but I am too lazy to switch the thumbnail every time. For example, right now I'm streaming Limbus Company mainly because I just couldn't be fucking bothered to change the thumbnail. That's how lazy I tend to be with these things. I'm wondering what kind of game I want to play next. The last game I really got into was Xenoblade Chronicles X, but it's been at least a week or two since I played that last. I finished basically everything that I could play. It was a really fun game to play. Genuinely one of the best JRPG experiences in 2025, where a lot of them were fairly disappointing to me. But I can't honestly say it's the best JRPG ever for everybody. It has a lot less of a story focus and more of a character focus, where you're experiencing a lot of different character stories, while the main story falls a little bit to the wayside, where it's just not as strong as the other Xeno games. But I kind of like that, just building up your city, seeing all these tiny stories, getting attached to these characters because they have multiple quest lines. It's fun. It is absolutely fantastically fun. But I haven't really had any game that really pops up at me like that right now. And I can't force it, because if you're gonna actively look for a game like that, you're never gonna find it. Maybe the new Digimon game will be that for me. I did like the past two. The past two Digimon JRPGs weren't the best thing ever. I'd say that the first one was a solid 7 out of 10 if you're gonna rate it. It was an experience that I would call good for a JRPG. It was just a solid average JRPG with nothing amazing. And then the second one built decently up from the first one. And while I'm a little bit disappointed at where the story went in the second Digimon RPG, it was still fun and I liked the characters more in that one. So I would still call it a overall improvement. So I am curious to see where they're gonna take the third JRPG. I don't remember when it comes out, but I think that it came out or will come out in late 2025. Around winter-ish. Maybe right before Christmas or maybe a month or so before Christmas. I tried playing some Tales of Arise, but the game just didn't grab me. It might just be the combat system, just didn't get me. I would like to get into it though. I do think that if I gave it more of a chance, I may get into it a bit more, but just need to be in the right mood. It's the case for a lot of games. Games that I would otherwise really enjoy, I might not be in the right mood for, and then it just ruins it for me.
정리 작업 시작합니다. 단순해서 좋군 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 잡자는 거.
I might play that sequel to Ender Lilies. I already bought it. And I played it a little bit, but I wasn't really in the mood for Metroidvania at the time, so I only played it a little bit to just see what it was about and what they were, in what direction they were going. And it was all still really freaking good. The music was great, which obviously it's gonna be with Millie involved. The art was absolutely stellar like always, and the vibe was just immaculate, so might go for that. I haven't played the Metroidvania in a good bit, so that would absolutely be worth it. I was window shopping in a while ago and I came across a interesting title that just released. Artist Impact. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna look it up. Maybe this will get me out of my malaise of not really feeling like doing anything. Artist Impact. I don't have Steam set up. Hold up. QuakeCon. Great stuff. QuakeCon. QuakeCon. Jesus, I cannot say shit. Artist Impact. Alright. Ooh, okay. Let's see. A fun turn-based... Ooh. I do like them RPGs. A fun turn-based RPG set in the future world of humans and AI. Play as Akane to explore vibrant locations, battle with simple yet fluid combat, and enjoy side quests full of charming surprises with a playful, humorous style and clever details. Ooh, I do like the art. This adventure is light, easy, and full of smiles. I feel like that's a lie. But I am not gonna read into it too much. It does look pretty. It's not that expensive either. Could you imagine if this was actually just a fun little adventure full of light ease and full of smiles? Could you fucking imagine that all of this is just a giant fucking prank where they're like, ha, you're gonna think that it's gonna be something super dark. But yeah, no, this looks good. Artist Impact. Art seems pretty solid. Seems like one of those games that I could get really into. Would be really fun, I think, if that was the actual case. Alright, we're on floor 4. I would like to get at least one fusion gift started, and darn. Darn. Give me more charge gifts, dang it. Okay, there, finally, actually. Ooh, nice. Ooh, nice. Okay, we're just gonna buy all of these because they are great. So have you already played it, or are you just window shopping for now? Okay, so let's see. I should with this one should have everything to fuse one of those charge gifts. So hold up, I'm gonna quickly check the recipes. All right. No, fuck. I need material interference or whatever. Still, boo. Okay, let's see. Do I have any way of getting that material interference? Do I have any way to get that material interference? Alright. Give me that material interference. Fuck, not the tier 3 charge gift that I wanted. I like to window shop, slap some things on my wish list to keep an eye on things. Fair. I have a couple of things on my wish list as well. Nothing major, just a couple of things that I might want to buy at some point, but not yet. Can I up this to a 3? Yes, I can. Come on! Yes! There we go. That's the ego gift that I needed. Let's see. Do I have the UPS one? I do not think I do. So that would be great if I got that one as well. Because then I can just immediately fuse everything together. Alright, I need the UPS one, which is a tier 1 ego gift, I believe. So we do need to be careful. No. I might not have any other options here, and I'm not gonna waste a tier 3 gift. Oh wait, no, I have the UPS one, never fucking mind. I need miniature telepole, which is a tier 2. Okay, that's a lot easier to get with the stuff I have right now. Okay, let's see, any other way I can get that. I might not have anything that I can realistically fuse, but maybe if we can buy something. Also, my friend and I have the tradition of firing gifts at each other. Sometimes they're what we really want, other times they're Joe gifts. I could never do that, man. I remember one of my friends bought me Helldivers because he really wanted to play it with me. And I felt so fucking guilty. I made him promise the next time we both wanted to play a game together that I would buy it for him. I can genuinely not accept gifts like that. And that's with all of my friends the same. I remember it was this one guy's birthday, and I didn't really feel like looking for anything specific, so I just asked him, hey, is there a gift you want on Steam or something? But he, for the life of him, just couldn't. Guess we can do one more refresh. Just, would that refresh be worth it when everything else? Yeah, no. There we go. Alright, well, this is the best we're gonna get. Confirm, fuse gift. I really do want that tier 2 so that I can just get everything I want right away. Okay. Okay, I need a telepole here. I need a telepole. Come on, telepole. No, okay. Well, sometimes you don't always get what you want. It is fine. This is how life works, unfortunately. We rarely buy multiplayer gifts. It's mostly single player and we kind of know each other enough to get a beat on what the other wants. It's just one of those rare things in life. I suppose so. I don't really... Well, I do actually play a lot of multiplayer games with a couple of guys, but that's mostly... So I mostly play multiplayer puzzle games with one specific guy, and then some co-op JRPGs with a different group of people. It's rare to find someone that would willingly play a bunch of co-op puzzle co-op games because they aren't as popular. There we go. Fuse this bad boy. There's another charge gift. I'm tier 4 charge gift, so I'd want to try and get that one as well at some point as well. Alright, this is the best I can do until I get that telepole. For example, right now I bought, what's it called? What is it called? I just bought Unsolved Case. It's a point and click co-op puzzle game, and it's actually really fun. We played the prologue together already, and I'm looking forward to play it with him whenever we're both available. He actually tried to message me or call me yesterday, but I had my Discord off the entire day because I totally forgot to turn it on, and I don't have it set so that it automatically turns on. It happens sometimes. It's just something I'd rather have. I don't like the idea of my Discord automatically starting up, even when I just don't feel like interacting with anybody. It's just a personal preference, though. Aside from that, currently a group of people I play games with, we were looking for something to play, and I gave them a couple of suggestions. One of them was a tactical JRPG that is actually a co-op game, and I thought it was really cool, but they weren't all that interested. One of them wanted to play a sort of Hades-esque game. Wanted to play a co-op Hades-esque game, and while I personally don't mind Hades, it's also just... I don't know, I just really felt like that tactical JRPG. And then one of them wanted to play something called Trine, and he thought that I already bought it and that the other guy also already bought it. But I told him, dude, I did not buy fucking Trine. And he swore on his own life that I bought Trine, but in the end I didn't buy Trine because I know what I'm buying. I am fairly stingent on the games I buy. Don't get me wrong, I have an entire backlog of games that I will never play, but those are from the olden days of when I just got Steam and I didn't give a shit and I spent so much money on games. Now I'm fairly stringent on that. I have a budget for how much I am allowed to spend on games each month, and also I make sure that when I buy a game, I am planning to play it. So I wouldn't have bought something like fucking Trine. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that the Trine games are alright, but it just doesn't seem like something for me. I do like Nelly. I like her mate outfit. Also, I like the ID, the Ryushi's ID that is based off Nelly. I always like it when Sinner IDs change up more to the Sinner than just an outfit change. Usually it comes with hair. That's why I like Manager Dawn so much, because she has long hair and it looks really pretty. Or the maid Ryushi, because she has a ponytail and that's also cute. We need more of those, damn it. Alright, let's see what we get. Did not gain an ego gift. Darn. First turn start of the wave. Like wanna, you know, this is fine. Yeah. Which one shall I pick? I'll do tearful things. I don't really. I don't really like any of these others. I might have picked the bull if it wasn't for the frog. I don't like the frog, and I would rather not fight it regardless of any situation.
정리 시간이다.
단순해서 좋군 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면
날카롭고
달고짝자란 걸 준비해.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
공간을 뭉갠다.
개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 감시했습니다. 제 예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이 우수하다는 것이 증명되는 것 같아.
Yeah.
다행이군요.
Hard mirror dungeons are a little bit more fun, I'd say. Even though I've only played it now once, but I had more fun in a hard mirror dungeon. Shame that it doesn't give you more for completing a hard mirror dungeon when you don't have those little nodes left. I don't know what you call them. You know, those things you get weekly where you can complete the mirror dungeon and you'll get lunacy.
관리자님, 당신이 생각하는 것에 대단한 능력을 가지고
Maybe it's because I got a lot more ego gifts, so it felt more fun to play with and maybe experiment. It's also a shame that in hard dungeons you actually need to have your identities leveled up, because that makes it so that you have a harder time experimenting, right? At least for me, because I don't really have enough experience tickets to properly level up all my identities.
전투감각 하나만 수감 그간의 전투 경험을 적합한 조치였습니다.
And it's honestly not worth trying to level up each and every identity, because the level cap is constantly rising. At least until we're at Kanto 12 or so, where we'll see if the level cap stabilizes. I'm not really sure what Limbus' company's plan is after Kanto 12, but I wonder what the max level cap is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be either 75 or 80, not higher than that though, because I feel like they don't want to make the Sinners as strong as a color fixer in-game. And we know that Virgilus was around level 90 stat-wise when we got to play with him. So I think 75 to 80 is a pretty good endpoint for how high the levels of the Sinners can go.
충전 기능 점검. 단숨에 정리하라.
At the absolute highest, I think it would be 90, but personally, would vote for 75 to 80. And it makes sense, because this is Kanto 8, and we're at level 55, so if we're at Kanto 12 and we get 5 levels each Kanto, then it would be around level 75. And then maybe that 80 if, let's say, we get a Dante Kanto, right? That might also be a situation. I don't know if that's gonna happen though, because you don't want to give too much away about Dante, I feel. At least not yet. But maybe that's how where they're all building up to. Maybe this whole gacha game works up to the climax and then they'll just end it. Who the fuck knows? This is Project Moon's best performing game so far though, so I'm not really sure if they're gonna end it just like that. But I don't want it to end up being a situation where they told the story they want to tell and then they are just meandering, you know? I'm sure Project Moon could just keep telling pretty good stories, but it does feel to me like Project Moon knows what story they want to tell right now, and it might make the game less fun if you get like meander a little bit. But what else can you do? Maybe explore mirror worlds a little bit more. Something like you get interfollows that are set in a mirror world. That might be fun.
관리자날이 잘한 것 같지 않소?
Just having vignettes of mirror worlds.
기차와 같이 달려나가겠소.
It's honestly something they should do regardless. Maybe not entire interfollows, but just short stories set in a mirror world, and then maybe they can do something similar to the rental system they have right now.
국가를 갖고 돌아온다면 탈권 작전한 걸 준비해두지.
정확하게.
Where you can rent a team that is consistent of identities from that world. That would be pretty fun. Could you imagine a Blade Lineage and Kurakumo mirror world? That would be cool. But then you would need to actually make
지금이 기회인 것
sprites for those specific identities, which might be something Project Moon does not wish to do.
관리자님.
Which I could understand. They only have one artist at the moment, so
제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나
it would be pretty rough for them to have to draw even more than they already do.
날카롭고 정확하게.
얌전히 있어라. 야, 설마 벌써
효율적인
죽었냐?
대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
전투 감각 하나만큼은 수감자가 되어도 그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요.
Dante.
적합한 조치였습니다.
날카롭고 정확하게
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니
지키기 위해서
보는 맛이 나노. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 널 답답한 법이지. 얼간이들이 흥겨워하는군. 대체로 저럴 때는 이유가 있는 법입니다. 이유를 잡아 쫓아보시죠.
날카롭고 정확하게
단숨에
개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다. 제 예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이 우수하다는 것이 증명된 것 같아
제압 완료.
다행이군요.
승객 보관 준비.
차라리
제가 괜히 먹을 것들을 사들고
Maybe they'll do something with side characters or something. Maybe they'll explore Virgilus a bit more. Even though this is already a sequel to Leviathan, so that might not work entirely. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what they would do after they've explored all the sinners. Of course, you have sinners like Rhodia and Gregor that haven't really gotten much attention because their Kantos were the first two. So you could maybe do something like that with them, but I feel like they're gonna get their spotlight at some other points. Okay, let's see. don't really need this one anymore. But we're not getting a charge gift from that. Also not getting a charge gift from that. No, I need a tier 2 gift. This is actually pretty rough. Maybe if I'm lucky I can get it by refresh. Come on! No. You have a bunch of tier 2 gifts, so I might be able to just buy those and do something with that. Well, that's part of the theory, that we circle back to Gregor and Rodion and maybe Sinclair. Sinclair never got proper closure because Damien had to step in. True, but we did get that... but Damien is clearly gonna show up later on. I'm just gonna do one more refresh. Come on, give me... Just not getting these charged gifts, am I? Wait, I literally got the... Okay, yeah, that was weird. I literally got the exact same fucking gift there. That was kind of terrible. Alright, well, let's try and fuse these into what we need. Otherwise, I'm fucked. Wait, why am I not getting a charge gift here? Is there just no possibility for a charge gift from or something? Huh. Okay, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, but I don't really think, even if I, let's say, refresh, I don't think, well, it wouldn't really matter now because I basically got everything. I'm just not gonna get that final gift, I think. That's unfortunate. Nope. I'm just not getting shit. Okay. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta admit when you're beaten. It's not like I really need it, but it would have been nice to be able to get that final charge gift. Don't really need it for anything, but it's just nice having all of them. Damn, it was so much easier in hard mode to get all these gifts. It's kinda insane. Oh, we got the bull. That's not bad. The bull can be rough, but I prefer it over some of the others, and we definitively do not have the... Okay, hold up. Flip, favorite, good enough. I prefer the bull over the butterfly. The butterfly can be terrifying if you do not have the damage just to immediately kill it. It's funny, I've been playing Limbus Company for a good while now, and I'm still not entirely sure if potency means that how many times the stack stays even when you hit it, or if it's something else. Because I know that the total number is just the total number. So let's say with Rupture, if you have like 99 number, then you would do 99 damage on that hit if you trigger that Rupture. But is potency that, let's say you have 3 potency, that a person can hit that enemy 3 times before the potency entirely runs out? Okay, so that's, yeah. Okay, so that's count. That's called count. Okay, see, I'm really terrible with all them words. So potency is just the number of like whatever you have of the status effect then. Oh, come on, Faust, I believe. Okay, well, it's fine. You're trying. You're trying your best. Wait, so what does charge... Why do you have charge potency? Not potency, count. Why do you have charge count then? It's not like it matters, right? Like you always just build up charge anyway and then you use it. Seems kind of random. Neutral. I don't like neutral. I don't like neutral at all. Okay, so let's use Rupture as an example. If you see 99.9, that means the next 9 hits will deal Rupture. Well, yeah, that makes sense. But what about charge? Is it that if I have, let's say, 2 charge count and I have 20 charge and I use Don Quixote's 3 skill, then the charge doesn't go down? It just, count goes down? Or whatever, I think it's called the count. Get me that stagger. Yes. Oh, that just immediately killed. Nice. Oh yeah, I had an ego gift that does 33% of a creature's HP when they get staggered. It depends on the ID. Some IDs specifically target count for their resource, and it's sort of disrupts. Alright, claim. Oh. Okay, I didn't know you could get that extra little bit from Mirror Dungeons. I don't really have anything to do with that resource, and I don't think you actually get something from having more of the resource than you actually need. That might be something that Limbus Company should add to these events, where if you've bought everything, you could maybe exchange the remainder. Okay, yeah, I didn't get any more. But if you get more of the reward, you could maybe exchange it for something else. Maybe for every one of this resource you get, I don't know, a thread, which would honestly be a really good way to farm threads, so that's probably not something they would want to do. Maybe you'll get a bronze experience ticket or something. Yeah, not that difficult, right? I already played this event the previous time, so some of the rewards I already had. I think in total I only needed maybe 2,500-ish tickets. Not tickets, whatever, stopwatches. Yeah, probably. The biggest ones are the 750 and the 600, and I didn't need those, so. Oh, and I also had the Ryushi identity, so, you know, no biggie. Like I said, right now I'm playing a little bit more Limbus Company because I'm in between games and I'm basically just waiting for the next thing to grab me. Let's see, have I done anything else yet? Oh, I already done these? Okay, fuck. Guess I'm really on point with this today. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I don't have anything else to do in Limbus Company right now. Even the Mirror Dungeon is just kinda there. Don't really... Oh, wait, I knew. Did you claim any achievements reward from MD? I'm pretty sure I did. I didn't even know this was a thing, by the way. Like, absolutely did not know this was a thing. Did not know this was a thing. Yeah, I got a couple of them. I only did the hard mode once a little bit ago, and I'll just wait to do the hard mode again whenever I can do it. Hopefully I'll be able to get at least that 10 ticket and maybe this one. That would be absolutely great. I'm not really sure how long it will take for more rewards to show up. We're already decently... Are we? I don't know how long the season is still gonna take, or when the coming soon comes. But I will definitely want this extraction ticket. Would be great if I got that Honglu identity. It looks absolutely amazing. Also, I think that its story
its updive story is gonna be really fun. Also, I like how Hong Lu talks in that one. It's just a really nice one, where his tone of voice is actually slightly different. And I imagine that that's mainly because Hong Lu has grown in the Hiscanto, so he might not always be super peppy and happy, but I like it. Yeah, I'll start doing the 10 floor runs next week, since I just got my Tremor team up. Yeah, are the 10 floors really difficult? Still decide if I want a Ufi leveled as potential substitute unit. I actually prefer running less than max units for the extra skill slots. I don't really think I'm that deep at the Limbus company that I can consider that, unfortunately. I'm still struggling with team building. Yeah, one of the teams I would like to make is a Rupture Charge Hybrid. I already spoke about this. And then maybe the identities that I'm thinking of getting are Faust, Heisho Pack Faust, and then maybe Heisho Pack Heisho Pack Gregor. I feel like that could work decently well together. I have the other Rupture units. I have a decent amount of other Rupture units that can support them, plus my charge identity, so it should be possible. I actually prefer, well, when you see a 10k HP Kim with an offensive level near the 90s, she'll tell me, wow, okay, fuck, that does not sound all that fun to fight. At least not with my team. Shit. I think maybe I think Limbus Company's endgame is just not for me anymore, because I just do not have the willingness to spend the amount of time grinding out to get to the point where I could actually achieve that. But yeah, no, I don't really think I have much else to do, so I suppose this is it. A little bit early, but I suppose that just happens. Thanks for being around, and see you next time. Funny enough, White Gaussium and its red counterpart help balance that out on a bleed team on stagger, and that's about minus 30 offensive level or more. Huh. I do actually want to build a Kurakumo bleed team. But again, I just do not have the resources to build that, so I need to figure out how many resources I get on average on a season, and then see what I can do. From what I can guess, I'll be able to get maybe 3 to 4 identities every season, because with the season pass right now, not this one. With the season pass right now, I've about 478 fragments, which, if I'm lucky, will add up to about 1,000. Yeah, well, unlike you, I don't have the season pass, asshole. Like, I get a third of the rewards you get, man. I get a third of them. If I had the season pass, I would also probably have over 1,000 boxes at least. Yeah, fuck, I will not. I would be absolutely lucky if I got maybe 1,000 crates at most. At absolute most. I get 3 crates every time I complete a mirror dungeon. Plus the once a week where I would get, well, it's 22.5, but we'll just round it down. We'll round it up to 23 to be a little bit more fair. So then I would maybe get 23 crates a week if I farm a mirror dungeon every day, which I absolutely do not do. I farm maybe a mirror dungeon every other day if I'm lucky. I would get maybe, and this is a big maybe, 41 crates a week if I farm every day. Yeah, no, I get it. It's smart. But yeah, I get maybe, if I'm lucky, 41 boxes a week. And you would need on average about 2 200 boxes to get one identity. So it would cost me way fucking more. It would cost me freaking 5 weeks to just get one identity. And that is if I am really good on my grinding. And that's not even talking about leveling them up, up-tying them. It's honestly just not realistic for me to, at least for me, to get everything. Maybe if I had the season pass, because then you would up the amount of identities you get probably by 3. So then I would be able to get around... Let's say right now I'm able to get maybe 3 or 4 identities a season. I would be able to get between 9 and 12 identities a season. And that's close to how many actually come out a season. So at that point, you can just grind out a little bit to get the rest. Also, getting the season pass makes an incredible amount of difference. Which I can honestly praise Limbus Company that they are not free-to-play friendly, but low-spender friendly. That's what I would call Limbus Company. Because a lot of people do say that Limbus Company is free-to-play friendly, but that's honestly not true. Limbus Company requires a free-to-play player to spend way too much grinding for it to be called free-to-play friendly. Does it allow you to buy every identity? Yes, and that's incredibly good, but it would take a free-to-play player way too long for that to be realistically possible. Look at this, I took, what, 1.5 hours to finish one mirror dungeon, and let's remove a half hour from that, just because I was also talking to you, right? So let's say that I take an hour each to get an hour to finish one mirror dungeon. So that is three crates for one mirror for every hour. Okay, so I get that the option exists, but I don't think a lot of people realize how much grinding is involved for that option if you're actually free to play. You would need to spend an hour, like I need to spend an hour for 3 boxes, and with 3 boxes, let's be kind and say that I get the max amount of fragments each time I do it, so that's 9 fragments. Then even if we're, like, even then, and you need about 500 fragments to max out an identity with buying it and up-tying it, right? So at that point, each identity costs about 500. So I would have to grind, I need to do the mirror dungeon around 56 times to get one identity full. So that would be 56 hours. I think it is. But just because a lot of the other gacha game standards are even worse, that doesn't mean that Limbus Company is free-to-play friendly, in my mind. It is absolutely low-spender friendly. If there was any gacha game I would spend money on, it would be Limbus Company. Because I could literally spend 15 euros every, I don't know, 6 months. Because that's how long a season usually lasts. And I would be able to get literally everything. That is extremely good value. That is amazing value. But if you look at the purely free-to-play player experience that I'm living right now, I genuinely cannot say that it is free-to-play friendly. It just takes way too much time. 56 hours. I would need to spend 56 hours for every identity I would want to max. Like, to get and max. Well, that's the thing. Unless you can give us an even better example for what people can consider a free-to-play friendly game, this is the best for now. There's that cat gacha game. I don't know what it's called, but the whole premise is that you have a army of cats that you have to take over the world with. They are extraordinarily free-to-play friendly to the point where you just genuinely do not have to pay for any currency. They are extremely friendly with that. I think that's probably the most free-to-play friendly gacha game out there. And that's not even talking about Arknights. Arknights I would consider in a lot of ways to be way more free-to-play friendly. They are extremely generous with their currency. They have ways to get really strong operators for free. And it's not unheard of for free-to-play players that have played Arknight for long enough to have every unit in the game. Even I, who play Arknight off and on, have some of the strongest units without paying any money. Genuinely, I think Arknight is more free-to-play friendly than Limbus Company when it comes down to it. Yeah, tell that to all the fights that if you don't have the meta, you are kind of gonna be tryharding or outright gated. I can say similar things about Limbus Company, man. Like what is this? I am literally I have to take a break from the main story to try and build a team around the boss, and it will take me literal weeks, if not months, to get there. How is that not gatekeeping as well? I don't have the meta. With spending a reasonable amount of time on Limbus Company and not spending any money on it, I have maybe 1.5 teams worth of identities maxed, and that's what I have to do it with. Like, Limbus Company doesn't use money necessarily to gatekeep, but there is a wall. There is a wall that is infinitely harder to climb if you don't spend. And the combat system doesn't really help with that, because a lot of the time for me, when I hit one of those walls, it feels more that I just have to get lucky with one of the runs, instead of actually being able to build around the boss and interact with the game how I feel the game wants me to interact with it. Like, I'm not trying to say all of this because I hate Limbus Company, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it. I'm just saying it isn't as perfect as a lot of Limbus players would like it to be. At least not for me. Yeah, that's fair, but Arknight has more room to have a run implode because it's an RTS tower defense. Maybe, but when it comes down to it, if we take everything into account with both Limbus Company and Arknight, I think there is a solid argument to be made that Arknight is more free-to-play friendly, especially with gaining units. Yes, it is you cannot farm. You cannot farm well, actually that's not entirely true. You do have some ways to farm for better units, but you can't farm for all the units. So yeah, in some ways Limbus Company is more free-to-play friendly than Arknight, but Arknight is way more generous with its currency. It doesn't require, and it's a lot easier. It takes a lot less time to get a lot of strong units. Like, it's not like you need the strongest units to win in Arknights. You can have just some generically strong units and you will be fine for most of the time. Where in Limbus Company, if the boss so happened to be really strong against your team comp, you're basically screwed. And with how this game works, as a free-to-play, I just do not have the time or the resources to make another team comp. Like right now, instead of making another team comp that I think would be fun to fight the boss against, I have to rake my head thinking, okay, so these are the IDs that I have, that I already have leveled. What is the minimum amount of resources I can use to make a other team that is better suited to fight this boss? That's the thought process I'm making. Like, I'm thinking, okay, so maybe if I get Beck Faust, because she has Rupture and a lot of my W identities have Rupture, they might gel well together, and then I can switch this out with this one, and then I only have to spend 1200 fragments instead of the like 5,000s that I would otherwise, the 6 to 6,000 fragments I otherwise would need to spend. I would say that the more free-to-play friendly is in Limbus company side, because you can really be shafted on the pulse in Arknight. I've been just really lucky in Arknight Pulse, but I've literally gotten every unit I wanted. It's not that I don't sometimes miss the 50-50 or anything. It took me a while to get Kelsif, but I still got her, and I wasn't super active or anything. And if the gacha says so, no, that's the end of the story. Yeah, funny thing about that is that people have proven that basic IDs with basic egos only have been able to clear Kanto 8. Yes, that's more weight on the piloting side with a little bit of RNG, but it shows that the basic resource can still do. I call bullshit on that. I am 100% sure that those basic ID runs are a lot more RNG reliant than a YouTube video that shows it would say. I bet that those people that do those YouTube videos would have to have had many runs cut off just because they got bad luck. You underestimate how much RNG that would take. That's my standpoint on it though. Just because you can see someone clear a Kanto with the base IDs doesn't mean it didn't take him multiple tries, and I mean incredible amount of tries, just to get the lucky dice rolls. I know we both like Limbus Company here, so I don't want to give the impression that I'm like, oh, you're dumb for liking Limbus Company, because it's a fun game, and it is the best game that happens to be a gacha game in my mind in a lot of ways. It actually feels like a game. The story is the best a gacha game has had so far, I'd say. It's just, it does have its flaws. It has a lot of flaws, and Project Moon is actually looking to solve them. For example, I heard in a dev stream that they're actually looking to implement a system where if you die in a battle, you can pay lunacy, and it can be either paid or non-paid lunacy. So the lunacy I have here would also work to just let your units revive. That is a way to solve the problem of people being hitting a giant wall that they can just not overcome because they don't have the right units. That is for the people like me that just only care about the story, that could be a solution. I think if we give Limbus Company enough time and maybe a willingness to solve some of its problems, it could be one of the best gacha games around. And you can see it with the uptick of players. I think Limbus Company right now has about triple the players it had last year. That's amazing growth. Yeah, but can you say that on only 3-star run on AK on the toughest fight without any crutches, any 5-star in the strat as a need unit is possible? Okay, well that is unfair because you can get both 4-star and 5-star units for free in Arknight. There's an entire system where you can get really strong units like that for free, so that isn't entirely fair. It's fine, we're discussing. I know Limbus is far from perfect, but I'm willing to roll with it because I want the story to finish. Yes, that's something I really want to. But for games like a Arknight or GFL or other gacha games, I have to really break my pool currency bank or actually pour more money than necessary. Yeah, no, I don't want to give that, Limbus Company is good when it comes to being, I guess, nice to the player. They don't expect you to will. The best way I can describe this is that Limbus Company isn't looking for wills. They're just looking for a consistent player base that is willing to deal with some of its bullshit to keep going, right? Because like I said, it's really low spender friendly. 15 euros every, let's say, 6 months is enough to basically solve most of the problems I have with Limbus Company. That is basically it. So, because then grinding takes infinitely less time, and you get enough crates just from completing the pass and so on to basically get almost every unit you can get in in this game. That's not a bad deal. That's an amazing deal. That is a deal that other gacha games would never implement because it would slash into their money making. Like Project Moon is dealing really well with this. Yeah, but you are saying that only base IDs and Ego Run needs a lot of RNG. Fair, but why should that be unfair when your 5 stars and 4 stars are still held hostage by gacha? At least, very least, the base IDs and Egos are all accessible from the start. No hostage taking here. Well, you can say the same thing about a lot of other gacha games. Even so, let's move away from Arknight a bit and go to FGO. That's a gacha game that we can both say isn't nearly as free-to-play friendly as Limbus Company. It is horrendous when it comes to free-to-play. You barely get any of the premium currency. You get rarely any of the premium currency, and you can barely pull and so on, right? And the 5-star units are way more overpowered than the 3-star and below units that you can get from the normal campaign, right? But it's still easier for free-to-plays to get through the story and to do the higher-end content from FGO, because it expects a lot less from you. So it's less of it makes you feel less like it's a problem. Project Moon, if you want to interact with for Limbus Company, if you want to interact with a lot of the content, you do have to actually keep up with the game. For example, with interfollows or events, recent events, right? If you aren't up to the current Kanto, as in you haven't finished the current Kanto, you're just barred from playing it, which means that Limbus Company is just kind of a dead fish at that point, because you can't play it until you finish that Kanto. And there, like I said before, there isn't a crap ton to do outside of Kantos and interfollows. So the game does actually gatekeep a lot of its content until you keep up. And that's why it feels a lot harsher than something like even FGO, where, yes, clearly it's less free-to-play friendly, but it doesn't remove 90% of the content if you haven't completed everything. There are a lot of things that make Limbus Company frustrating to me, but overall, it does do a lot of things right. And from what I've heard, they are actually working on fixing, or at least making the how do you say it, the experience for free-to-plays a bit more easy. I don't think it's unfair for to not get all the identities if you're free-to-play. I think that is absolutely fair. The only thing I really wish was that they had a way for me to still be allowed to do the things that are fun about Limbus Company, which is the team building, working around bosses, and so on. But I feel like I'm locked out of that, which is sad, because I really want to be able to play Limbus Company, but I'm just not allowed to. Well, not allowed is a strong word. I'm not able to. Alright, well, let's... that was my daily Limbus Company bitching out of the way. Thanks for watching. Oh, we're actually over 2 hours. Well, I guess this discussion helped me get over that 2-hour mark. Thanks for that. So, I'll see you later. And I'm just joking. I know that this is just discussing. Yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to get all the identities I need, because I do really want to be able to clear Kanto 8 before the Arknight collab. It would absolutely kill me if I couldn't play in that. I really want to be able to play in that. Alright. Talk to you later.